considerable atmosphere for the Belgians to face as they come out here now at White Hart Lane. If it's a night for good football and winning football, most assuredly it's a night for strong nerves. A packed house at White Hart Lane. And Tottenham with that awesome record that you know about, unbeaten at home here in 38 European games, stretching back to 1961. And now is certainly not the time to break that sequence.
It's becoming a crusade for Keith Birkinshaw. His reign about to end after 8 honourable years, and now every Spurs fan and player praying that it will end in triumph. Here in Brussels, Spurs set the foundation for that triumph.
Spurs have never failed to score at home in a European game. Let's have a look at the two teams then, and first the Spurs side. They come to the game, as we've said, without skipper Steve Perryman, who's serving a suspension. But Gary Mabbott takes his place, Graham Roberts taking over the captaincy. It's the only change from the side that scored that 1-1 draw in Brussels a fortnight ago. But added now to the substitutes is Ozzy Ardiles, and he was so close to being fit enough to start the game. The Belgians were dealt a mighty blow in training yesterday when their top scorer, Owen van den Berg, turned an ankle in training and was taken to hospital. Still a lot of experience in the side. They finished second in the Belgian First Division. And as I said, the key man could well be the number 10, Morten Olsen. Graham Roberts then doing the captain's job, organising. The need for calm nerves. Here's the man that the Belgians fear, was Tony Galvin. And referee Volker Roth of West Germany gets it underway. Spurs in the all-white strip attacking the goal to our right. It's Anderlecht's 24th season in Europe. Wanting to do a really big, important job tonight for themselves, for the club, but also very much for the manager, Keith Birkinshaw. This is his last competitive day. Arneson caught offside. There he is, Keith Birkinshaw. Ray Clements just beyond him. What a good record Keith's had here in 8 years. Won the Cup twice. Into the final of the Milk Cup, Second Division Championship. Finding Galvin. You can be sure that Hopkins, the number 8, will be keeping close watch on Galvin. Mabbott, and now Houghton. An infringement and a free kick to the Belgians. Referee Volker Roth of West Germany. I think it's Volker with a V, but he's got 2 West German linesmen with him. George Grun, still checking Muller on. Belgian international keeper. A massive kick by him. Roberts underneath it. There's the cushioned header for Houghton. And Grun gets it away. Being pursued by Falco. Houghton with the throw. Falco collecting, Grun there with him, Galvin though, the cross coming in, and the Graef getting it away. Mabbott, Thomas, on the left side. I think you were so close to sitting on the other side of the ground in the final itself, Brian, instead of up here on the television gantry.
No disrespect to you, but I would have rather been over there.
It's an offside as well against the counter.
It's a beautiful night for football.
And their style, roughly, Anderlecht tonight will be what, do you think, Brian? To hold on, and hope to get something on a breakaway?
I don't think they'll play any different to what they do any other week of the season. They'll look for the quick break. You saw a second ago they were playing offside. The blonde lad who just kicked it there, he's good player.
The growth. Roberts. It was Goodwin. And the Icon. Spurs to Anderlecht. De Groot. Kaufman. De Graaf. On the far side is George Grun. And Schifo beaten by Hazard. But offside against Archibald, little in it. But the German linesman's flag was up. Tackle there by Hazard in the middle of the field, showing Schifo that he was around. There's young Schifo again, just 18 years old. Picked on by Arneson, Roberts away. Now Mabbott, a poke forward. Olsen. The Dane. De Graaf. Seeking out Hopkins on the far side. And the Icon. A little battle on the field there with Falco. Chernetinsky beaten by Galvin, but it's Anderlecht's throw. And the referee having a word with Falco. He was involved a moment earlier with Van der Eycken. It's going to be a throw to Anderlecht. De Groot. Arneson. Van der Eycken. Beating off Stevens. And the shot easily collected by Tony Parks. Falco finding Gary Stevens. Cut out quite easily though by Grun. Now the number 11, Frank Arneson, the Dane, with Verkauteren outside him. Verkauteren. Looking busy and positive, Anderlecht, in these opening moments, Brian.
They've got a problem, obviously, because if it stays like this for 90 minutes, they're out, or they've lost the final. But Tottenham also have a problem. It's absolutely essential that they get a go.
Falco not getting one there. Miller on with the throw. Finding Hopkins, whose job more or less will be to mark Tony Galvin. The Belgians have great fear of him. Swift challenge by Houghton, another throw to Anderlecht. Olsen, a sweeper getting forward. Hopkins charged down by Galvin. Second from the right is the manager, Paul van Himst. And an offside again against Archibald. Only about 1,300 Anderlecht supporters are here tonight, and all but about 50 of them had seats in the stand, and Tottenham at the last moment, I think, have found 50 seats for the others, and so there are no Anderlecht supporters standing on the terraces tonight. Roberts finding Houghton. But Schifo getting back. A foul and a free kick awarded Tottenham's way. Hazard. Galvin. Is that cross coming in again towards Archibald? Just wide. Well, in the moment, you glimpse two things. Why the Anderlecht side were worried about Galvin, And how it is that Archibald has scored 28 times this season. A lovely little flick and just a fraction wide. A good move, Brian.
It was a lovely move. They're petrified of crosses. They were at our place, petrified of it. They don't quite know what it is to go wide in their football and for somebody to cross a ball in. I know that got a deflection, but it still just absolutely mesmerised them.
Well, they look for more crosses then, from Galvin in particular. But at the moment it's a throw for Anderlecht to be taken by Van der Eycken. Arneson, so skillful. Archibald, has he got the pace? There was a foul on the Belgian, Gruen. Another free kick. Hazard. Falco. Missed one or two chances in the first leg with Falco. The Koutman, a nice little touch there. Finding De Grote. Koutman again. That's quite easy for Roberts. It's a really nervy opening. You can almost hear those nerves twanging out there at the moment. Nobody really wanting to make a mistake. But a chance coming up now, unless Potts can get there. Did well to stop Cherniatinsky. It really looked as though that was a break. It was going to be a very good one for Anderlecht, but instead it's Hazard. But yet again, the offside trap has worked. Worrying moment this, Brian.
I can't believe how the two players did so badly. This lad here and the other lad stops it with his feet. The striker didn't have any idea at all.
Only, of course, the Anderlecht side are without Vandenberg, their top striker, who was injured in training yesterday. Archibald clearly offside again. So anxious to get away and beat that defence, but his timing at the moment is not what it needs to be. Morten Olsen with the free kick for Anderlecht. Abbott. Hopkins partially stopped by Hazard. Gruen, good long run by him, and no foul. Oh yes it is. Oh no it isn't, he's changed his mind. Spurs stopped as though they thought it was. And Gruen is in trouble on the ground at the moment. Hazard, meantime, finds Archibald. And now Roberts in turn finds Houghton. And Gruen is back on his feet again. Roberts, offside this time against Thomas. He's certainly playing this offside trap, and it's a dangerous game, Brian.
It's dangerous, but the sweeper, the number 10, he's the first one out. He did it in our place and he did it at their place, and they've got it off to an art. I just hope they get caught with it, because it spoils football.
Well, Arneson's run was spoiled there, and it's going to be a free kick to Anderlecht. A little upset with the challenge. Arneson going through there, and in fact was pulled down by Roberts. And Frank Arneson none too happy, but let's see what Anderlecht can do with this free kick. Schifo is there. Played in towards De Grote, but De Graaf played wide again, and that time cut out well by Houghton. Schifo. Oh, and a nice little dummy there, and Anderlecht are beginning to look very dangerous and moving well, but that was a poor shot. And it's a goal kick. The finer touch at the moment seems to be coming from the Belgians. Roberts Playing it towards Galvin. Falco's up there. Offside again. Coming towards the quarter of an hour mark. If you've just joined us, just got home from work. UEFA Cup final. It's Spurs 0, Anderlecht 0. 1-1 after the first leg. Thomas. Archibald. Stevens. De Gruyter. Verkauteren. Van der Eycken. Chip forward towards Czerniatinski. But in goes Paul Miller. Arneson, good throw. Czerniatinski now for Anderlecht. Verkauteren. They claimed a handball, the Belgians. My word, they might have had a case there. But the referee was well enough placed, Paul Miller. And Spurs sigh of relief as Grun gets it away under pressure from Falco. Houghton finds Falco again, but the pass wasn't good enough to allow Galvin to go running on. Hazard. For Falco, it might run for him. And the shot is straight at Muneron. De Gruyter. Arneson's ball. Miller backpedaling. In a word, Brian, did you think that was handball a moment ago by Paul Miller?
It wasn't, because the referee didn't give it. I would have been interested in if it had happened it there, Graham.
Well, there we are. We saw the slow motion. Well, looks as though he chested it down. De Graaf. Hofkins. Cut out easily there by Roberts. And he's taking a bit of shrugging off the ball there, then cracked into Gruen. Free kick given to Tottenham, and the number 7 Van der Eycken was anything but 10 yards off the ball when Hazard wanted to take that one. Feeling it's a game that's going to need some good, strong and firm refereeing as Hazard takes this free kick. Archibald trying to get something on the turn. Galvin trying to keep the ball in play, but does so only to the advantage of Hofkins. Hazard. Thomas. Houghton. Oh, he got himself caught up a little bit there, but they get the throw. Thomas. Hazard. Again. The ball there by Hazard for Houghton. Galvin's away on the left. The cross in towards Gary Stevens. But it was De Graaf's header. Archibald. No obstruction there by De Gruyter. And a corner given. The first of the game. It goes to Tottenham, 16 minutes gone. So Archibald in a central position in that Anderlecht penalty area as Hazard comes across to the corner flag. Plenty of big fellas up from the back. Roberts is in there, Miller's in there. Hazard's corner, a deep one towards Mabbutt, in fact. But it's Grun who gets it away. Houghton. Thomas. Hazard. Archibald on that far side. Tottenham's throw. Abbott's gone across. Maybe a long throw coming in. Roberts moving in towards the penalty area. Obviously anticipating that. It's a good long throw, but it's Morten Olsen away for Anderlecht. On to Czerniatinski. Houghton. Falco. Oh, beautifully nodded down there by Falco for Galvin. And now Archibald. And now here's Stevens. For Couteren, a nice touch. De Groot. Arneson, not such a good touch. And it'll come for Spurs again. Stevens just kept his feet well under the challenge from De Groot.
He crossed it like a centre-half.
Well, he's a defender, really, playing more or less in midfield. And the sad thing was that on this side of the field, in a lot of space, was Mark Falco. See Archibald hanging his, or putting his head to the skies there. De Graaf, De Groot, and an offside against Verkouteren.
It's a very anxious time, Brian, for both sides. Obviously, everybody understands the Tottenham supporters now. As badly as they want to go, they want a result more. They want that cup.
I think the anxiety is showing in both sides at the moment, but there's a good run forward by Danny Thomas, and a little header in, and Olsen not really getting it away, and the rub of the green for the moment went Anderlecht's way. It's their throw.
I feel slightly sorry for young Stevens at the moment, because he's been asked to play totally out of position, and I just hope people understand he's not an outside right or a midfield player or even a striker.
Hazard now for Tottenham. Thomas. Crowd enjoyed that. Got the better of Verkouteren, found Falco, and Thomas collected it well again. Abbott, Stevens, Falco. Crowd are willing Spurs to come forward and do something in that Anderlecht penalty area. Well, they've got a free kick, a chance to pop the ball in there now. So Muneron might have some work to do as Mike Hazard, number 7, behind this free kick. Floated in there towards Stevens and towards Mabbott. Just wide.
Brilliant effort. I'm not quite sure if somebody wasn't in an offside position, but it was still a good effort.
Again, they're worrying with crosses and that sort of ball coming into their penalty area.
Nobody looked offside to me from there.
Schifo. Little touch there for Van der Eycken. Onside. Now this could be trouble. Played in, but Thomas is there. My word, there was a flutter or two there in the White Hart Lane crowd. They thought Danny Thomas had made life difficult for Tony Parks, but it's a corner, and it still could be difficult.
That's anxiety. Normally, he would have just rolled it back to the goalkeeper. That's nerves, and that's anxiety.
Their first corner of the game to be taken by their captain, Frankie Verkouteren. Anxious moment this for Tottenham. Playing it wide to Schifo. Arneson fouled, an indirect free kick conceded by Chris Houghton. Schifo will take it. Hazard. pass there, and the youngster is on the deck, and Spurs with Hazard come away with the ball. Stevens away on the right. Danny Thomas has made a run too, but he didn't quite reach him. Stopped by Cherniatinski. Arneson couldn't touch that one. Here's Roberts. And that time the offside trap didn't work. Galvin. Archibald. Houghton. Roberts. Fair ball there towards Galvin. But again, Hopkins tight on his man. So Mabbott with another long throw. Except it's a shorter one this time to Roberts, who'd come up. Houghton. Now Olsen. Like all good sweepers, he's positive when he has to be. Schifo. That's a fair ball too to Vercauteren. With Cherniatinski waiting in the middle, and De Gruyter fouling there, Danny Thomas. It'll be a free kick to Tottenham. Houghton. He just lost control. There was no foul. And Arneson is onside. This could be a big problem, but it isn't. Well, he's quick, and he presented a problem there, Brian.
I'm not biased, but I'm glad he missed it. But he took it beautifully all the way until obviously the very, very most important thing. He missed the target. Goalkeeper did well, he stood up.
It's Houghton. Archibald, no, comes to Schifo again. A little cross coming in for Vercauteren, and they're playing some good balls forward again. And Cherniatinski, no, the whistle had gone for the foul by Cherniatinski on Thomas. Maybe it was handball. At any rate, it's a free kick for Tottenham. But I think if I were a Spurs fan, I'd be starting to worry a little bit about how well Anderlecht are playing, Brian. They're beginning to have a good little phase at the moment.
Well, I'll tell you what, the referee's not causing Tottenham any problems.
Archibald. Havertz. Schifo taking it off him. Doing well. Hopkins. Arneson. But Houghton will get it back. Galvin. Just look how close Hopkins is to him again. Archibald. Galvin in that Anderlecht penalty area, along with Falco and Stevens, waiting for this throw from Gary Mabbott. Played instead to Houghton. There's the cross coming in towards Gary Stevens. Got up well with his head. De Graaf was there as well, but he must have been climbing on the back of the Anderlecht defender, Stevens, as he went for it. De Gruyter. Van der Eycken. Arneson. De Gruyter. Vercauteren. Tottenham's ball. Roberts. Miller. Galvin's in there. Falco hopeful of getting in there. There's Tony Galvin again. Trying to get it round Gruen. There's the cross, but this time it's behind. Groote. Free kick given Tottenham's way. Must have been a foul by De Groote on Stevens after the ball had gone. Danny Thomas will take it. Just 5 minutes of the first half left. Spurs 0, Anderlecht 0. In the second leg of this UEFA Cup final. Paul Miller with the free kick. Too close to the keeper, I imagine, and it is. Arneson. Oh, and he might have given that away, but not quite. Thomas. Hazard. De Groote getting that away, but only as far as Archibald. He's got Mabbutt up there with him. Onto the left foot. Wide of a target. And the Reichen. The countering. Arneson, but there's Mabbutt away. And the next throw. And a yellow card for something that happened away off the ball, some 30 or 40 yards off the ball. A yellow card for Frank Arneson. Maybe arguing or giving his point of view to the referee that wasn't called for, but Arneson, his name has gone into the book. He's been doing a bit of moaning, I think, Brian.
I think he was chuntering, yes, and only a German referee would have understood him.
With the free kick. Bit of elbows there from Galvin. The free kick already taken. Now Arneson. Cherniatinsky finding for Kouteren. That's going to be a goal kick. Yes.
They've gone sweetly a couple of times, 2 or 3, 4 times actually. They still haven't put one in yet.
But on the balance of the first half, who, if I may ask you, do you...
For an away side, they've played remarkably well.
Do you have the odd little fear for Spurs at the moment?
You've always got fears because it's a cup tie. I just happen to have nailed my colours to their mast, and I think they'll win.
Mabbutt. That's Tottenham's throw, and Mabbutt's there. And in a moment, Miller will be there, having gone up from the back. And Mabbutt's looking for him, but finds De Graaf instead. Danny Thomas gets it there, but it's a goal kick.
Tottenham and Brian have got to play just a wee bit shorter. I know that they're a threat in the air, and I know that the Belgians possibly are vulnerable to crosses, but they've set themselves so well tonight. Tottenham want to take a few short jobs. Throw-ins and free kicks.
Galvin. In for Hazard. Struck beautifully, but just over. Galvin again, and this time it's Mike Hazard, agonisingly for Tottenham, just a little too high. Roberts with a good jump, and Archibald too, but it comes for Kouteren. And now De Groote. What the referee's given there. For a moment he wasn't sure himself. In the end he's given a free kick to Tottenham for the shove in the back on Danny Thomas. Real tightrope stuff at the moment. 0-0 coming towards half-time. And indeed there is the half-time whistle. The Belgians have moved sweetly. And they've made one or two chances, but they haven't been able to finish them off. And Spurs, roared on by this big White Hart Lane crowd, are just looking for that opening themselves. It's a beautifully contested UEFA Cup final, and still so much to play for in the second half. And the Belgians in those violet shirts and shorts attacking the goal to our right. De Graaf. And Groen. And Roberts. Kenny Thomas to Roberts. Hazard. Hughton. Going past Schifo. Still Chris Hughton. It's stopped then by Hopkins, and it gives Spurs the free kick. A slightly generous gesture, it seemed to me, by the referee, but nonetheless it's welcome for Spurs. Hazard will take it, maybe. Hughton and he having a little debate. It's now with Hazard. Olsen on the far side with a header away. Czerniatinski. And Miller, a reel up and under. And yet again, Galvin caught offside. It's such an unappealing part of their game, isn't it, Brian, this offside business?
It kills football. It'll kill it in their country. It killed it in Holland, actually, a few years ago when they were doing it. Everybody was laughing and nobody wanted to watch Dutch football. It is effective if they do it reasonably well. But it's, you know, it's like somebody who you admire, but you hope he gets caught. And I hope they get caught.
Hazard. Another free kick given, this time to Anderlecht. Probably a little bit of obstruction there by Mike Hazard.
What our people got to understand with this referee is that in Germany there's no physical contact at all. That's why their football's having such a bad time, and it's part and parcel of our game, and a good, honest, genuine part. But when you get a referee from outside of our football league, then the blow for everything.
Well, here's another free kick then for Anderlecht. De Groot with it. It'll fall for Galvin. Shoot there for Stevens. And on again for Galvin. Got a bit of licence to try his luck on the opposite flank this time, and De Graaf got an important header in there for Anderlecht. And Vercauteren with a little touch. Thomas trying to just chip it forward, but hitting an Anderlecht player, and here's Frank Arneson for the visitors. Archibald. But after that he says to Hughton, that fell nicely for him. Schifo doing some covering. Hughton holds him off. And the cross wasn't a very good one. Do you share the optimism of our friend Jimmy Greaves that Anderlecht don't look as though they are capable of scoring?
I'm not sure whether they said they're not capable of scoring, because any side's capable of getting a goal. I think what Jimmy was trying to say is if anybody's going to get a goal, it's going to be Tottenham.
But do they look like scoring to you?
Not at the moment.
Galvin getting it back.
There's a long way to go.
And of course, let me just remind you that 0-0. My word, how are we going to live through the last quarter of an hour if it stays at 0-0 with the tension then? But if it does stay at 0-0 to the very finish, then Spurs will of course win it on that away goal scored in Brussels. Let me just remind you of that. And the man who scored the away goal in Brussels on the ball at the moment, Paul Miller. Now Mike Hazard. Galvin. Schifo. Van der Eycken. There's Hopkins. That's out of play. That's a Tottenham throw. Galvin a little bit troubled at the moment. He's limping a little bit. Roberts. Hazard. Away he goes. Hazard. Driving the ball forward towards Danny Thomas. He ran straight into the defender, though. Roberts. Hazard. Graham Roberts, the captain again, hits straight at Hopkins. And an offside flag was up, it's a free kick. See, I think also British referees would have certainly played an advantage there. Absolutely no point in stopping for the offside with Anderlecht in possession. But Hopkins at the moment has a problem, and for the first time a trainer comes on. Just wondering, as a manager yourself, how you'll be feeling for Keith Birkinshaw tonight, Brian. His last game.
Not only as a manager, I think everybody who's interested in football in our country is feeling for him. If he can go out on a high note, then there's hope for us all, because he's one of the nicest guys in the game. I can't quite still understand why he's leaving Tottenham.
Well, I hope they've got it right somewhere, because I hope he's got it right, and I hope the club have got it right, because he's going to be a very difficult act to follow.
I'll tell you who haven't got it right. A few supporters I was talking to, they didn't know I was coming to work for you, and they thought I was coming down to throw me cap in the ring.
You can tell us that that is not true, huh? Archibald on his way, and Munaron out, taking no chances, doing a grobbler, but not as successfully as Bruce does, and it's a throw for Tottenham. Hazard, Galvin, Abbott, who had to be quick, and here come Anderlecht, Schifo leading the way, and Mabbott getting back to play it a long way back to 21-year-old goalkeeper Tony Parks. And Schifo in trouble. Hazard playing it forward, Galvin onside. Hopkins is with him, and a corner for Tottenham. Begins to rock now, but the corner will have to wait while Schifo gets some attention. Tottenham's corner then. Schifo can carry on. Galvin with it. Abbott and Stevens and Miller are up. Roberts is in there as well, being watched by Olsen, and it was the header by Miller that glanced off his head and went behind for the goal kick. Well, he struck a powerful header in Brussels, and it turned out to be a very profitable one for Tottenham, but not then. The two strong men at the back then have got to stay firm for Tottenham. 0-0, remember, would be enough. There's Roberts launching himself for that one. And at the other end, Morten Olsen doing the same for Anderlecht. Gary Stevens now for Tottenham. Thomas wanting a bit of the action. He's got Hazard available. Pace is very quick. Archibald, can he finish it off? No, it's gone behind though. Grun was in a lot of trouble and under a lot of pressure. And White Hart Lane starts to rock once more. Hazard to take it. Again Falco, Roberts, Miller, Stevens, Mabbott are in there, to say nothing of Archibald. But it doesn't go very well for them, and Galvin tries to turn it back. Van der Eycken for Anderlecht. And back to Munaron. Here's Hopkins. Grun playing it forward to Schifo. Stopped by Miller. And Thomas just got in there. I thought for a moment that Arneson might creep in. Thomas again. Thomas got Archibald away on the left here, and he's being supported by Houghton. But that's not a good enough pass. Here's George Gruen now for Anderlecht. Schifo. Olsen, the sweep, has made a tremendous breakthrough into the Spurs penalty area as well. It's out of play. To the annoyance of the big Danish number 10, Morten Olsen, who'd made something like a 50 or 60-yard break. This place is really buzzing now. 0-0 still if you've just joined us in this second half. And about 10 minutes of it's gone. Morten Olsen caught a little bit off balance there. Can Archibald collect? It'll be a corner. And he's trying to hold Gruen off. Does he succeed? It'll be a throw, I think, and not a corner. It is. Archibald again, and a free kick. Archibald backing into Hopkins. This is really building up now. Woe betide anybody who makes a serious mistake. And the pressure can only increase. Can Tottenham see off Keith Birkinshaw with a European trophy? Or will Anderlecht be the first ever side to successfully defend it? They won it last year against Benfica. Here's Stevens. There's the cross. Too high for Archibald. And another throw for Tottenham. Once more with Galvin. And the Spurs are being shouted on by this huge crowd now. Abbott, that long throw towards Roberts. And Roberts there too, and in the end Blumeron gets there. The feet were high, and I think it was Gary Stevens. And a bit of pushing and shoving, and Archibald involved, and Morten Olsen involved, and the referee needs to sort it out. And he'll sort it out with a yellow card to Gary Stevens for the assault on the goalkeeper, presumably in the first place.
It was a foot high. You watch it here. You know, young Stevens should know better.
I think it was the heat of the moment, and that was what cost him a yellow card.
That's not allowed where they play football, and the young man didn't go to harm the goalkeeper at all, but he has got a yellow card.
I'm not at all sure that while we were watching that slow motion that the referee wasn't showing a yellow card to the goalkeeper also. Couldn't be sure of that one. At any rate, what we're sure about is that it's Paul Miller with the throw for Tottenham, and it stays at 0-0. Hazard. A long ball for Galvin to chase. But will he find it? No, Hopkins is there. Well, he's kept a tight rein on Tony Galvin, and will need to do so. The counter. Morten Olsen. He's the man that could be so dangerous, making the extra man. And they scored! Chiniatinski! What a blow for Tottenham. A tremendous break for Anderlecht. And the sweeper, Morten Olsen, the man they said was going to be the dangerous fellow, the sweeper came forward. A perfect pass for Chiniatinski. And beyond, Tony Parks, and Spurs are behind. Brian?
It was a beautiful goal. It's not very often you see in English football where sweepers create goals. But I did mention right at the start of your programme that he was the guy that came from the back more than anybody I've ever seen. And he created a goal, the number 10 I'm talking about. And the guy stuck it in well.
Now Hazard. And now a real task for Tottenham. Galvin gets it in. And it's put behind by De Gruyter for the corner. Well, we have less than half an hour. for Spurs to bring it back to 1-1. That could then take us to extra time. But first, they have to get the goal. No, it's a free kick to Anderlecht. Anderlecht leading now 2-1 on aggregate. Roberts. Didn't come to Mabbott. So Roberts for Tottenham. Galvin in for Gary Mabbott. Now for Tony Galvin. A deep cross towards Stevens. Gets his header in and deflected off a defender for a Tottenham corner.
We scored 3 goals against this lot, Brian. Little Harry Hodge scored 2 at our place with headers, and we scored 1 over there, which the Spanish referee disallowed. I still feel it's Tottenham's best chance.
Well, here comes the cross. And Roberts, or rather Stevens didn't get the header in. Munaron, not the biggest of keepers. And a goal kick. Hazard came careering in there, but the counter was there to stop him. You say you still feel the best chances, what, for crosses?
Crosses and headed goals. They're not keen at it at all. And now they're absolute artists of what they're doing now. They're taking 2 minutes out of the game, and they're taking the heat out of the situation. Absolute artists.
No, it's Olsen, very nearly caught. Abbott's header. Tottenham battling away there, but the ball just wouldn't run for them. Here's Arneson. And now suddenly it's Hopkins, but he's wide. No offside.
I think for a second he went to chip the ball, and it never left the deck. But it was another half chance.
Hazard for Tottenham. Hazard again. Out come the defenders, trying to catch Spurs offside. There's Roberts, trying the little chip on his own, and Hazard got in his way. And Roberts was onside, but Hazard was not. Well, that was a shame, because Roberts was doing exactly as you advocated, doing the little chip and running himself, but Hazard didn't read it quite enough.
He did a little up and under, and Hazard was unfortunate there. He didn't really want to get his way, but he did. Roberts was perfect then in his execution of how to beat an offside trap.
Here we are again, Brian, look.
Little
There's
up and under. Eddie Waring would have been proud of that. And Hazard's offside.
It's a Schifo.
Come on, lads, get into it.
Schifo versus Houghton, and the free kick, this time to Tottenham. Schifo kicks it away, the 18-year-old now being spoken to by the referee. Tottenham in possession with Houghton. Falco. Free kick again. And the referee bringing out the yellow card for Mark Falco. That for the challenge on Hopkins.
It's a daft challenge, Brian. It's a daft challenge. You can't do that type of thing in the right back position when you're 1 down. It's a daft challenge at any time. He's got booked, might put himself out of another European competition if he ever gets in one again. I pulled Harry Hodge off over in Belgium for chuntering to the referee. Because that was daft as well.
Archibald. Free kick now to Tottenham. It's a sort of moment when Spurs might want to huddle in there. Remember, they're without a huddle and without Ardiles from the midfield, but Hazard has battled away, and there's his little chip coming in towards Roberts. Tottenham's throw. Need to keep pushing forward, pushing Anderlecht back, staying secure at the back themselves. Hazard with a long ball towards Stevens. This is another free kick to Tottenham. In the far corner of the penalty area. Inside the last 20 minutes of the game. Anderlecht leading 1-0 tonight, 2-1 on aggregate. Again, it's Hazard with that free kick. And Spurs just force that ball home now. Just about everybody from Anderlecht are back. Roberts is trying to get in there, gets his header across the face of the goal there towards Archibald, but there's Arneson holding off Archibald, and Spurs get a throw. They're letting Archibald take it, not waiting for Mabbutt to get across there. Thomas. Archibald. Hazard. Get after that one, Galvin's onto it.
That was a bad finish, Brian. He gets himself into a superb position here, and there's no need to do what he did. Hit the target man. He's trying to break the back of the net.
Miller. De Graaf. Roberts. Archibald onside. But De Graaf is there with him. Hazard. Bertie did well. Spurs warming up a substitute at the moment. Alistair Dick, a young player from Scotland who can play wide, normally down the left. But down the left at the moment is Chris Hughton. And now Gary Mabbutt. Number 5 substitutes are named, 2 can be used. That's out of play, that's another throw to Tottenham. And it's Gary Mabbutt who's coming off.
And Miller's getting booked, and rightly so. What do you do things like that for, man?
Now, I was watching the substitution about to take place. Tell me what happened there with...
Referee blew his whistle for a free kick, and Miller just did him. He did a similar thing at Forest Ground 4 or 5 years ago. He whacked somebody on a jaw and got sent off. No reason for it at all. I think he hit Gary Burton.
That was a silly thing for the Belgian player to do as well, having a kick at Miller. But Schifo down and injured. And off the field. Gary Mabbutt also off the field. And the substitution for Spurs has been made. And Alistair Dick is on. Roberts. Oh, just wide from Galvin. Well, there are 1 or 2 little flutters in that Anderlecht penalty area, Brian.
This is a good effort. It's a lovely flighted free kick in. Somebody gets his head to it, and that could once again be on target, and the Tottenham players have got their hands on the backs of their heads.
There's a bit of activity also on the Anderlecht bench. That's Gudjonsson, the boy from Iceland, who is to join Feyenoord for next season. Hazard. Galvin wide on that right-hand side now. And the cross coming in, but Falco couldn't get there, behind by De Graaf. So Keith Birkinshaw obviously wants to play with 2 wide men now, with Galvin having gone down the right and Alistair Dick playing away down the left. And it's the number 11, Frank Arneson, who, like Gary Mabbutt, I don't think has been entirely fit for this final, it's Arneson who'll be going off, and Gudjonsson who comes on. In the meantime, it's a corner for Tottenham. Roberts with the header! So often he makes those count, and with 9 goals to his credit this season, for a central defender, that's not bad going, but it's a goal kick for Anderlecht. Making another change, and Ardiles is coming on for Tottenham, and Paul Miller is going off. Johnson's on for Anderlecht, and Arneson is off, and a tremendous roar as Osvaldo Ardiles comes on. Disappointed, in fact, when he was told by Keith Birkinshaw yesterday that he was on the subs bench instead of starting. He's had so few games this season, predominantly because of a very nasty shin injury. But he's had 3 reserve and friendly games in the last 8 days or so in a desperate attempt to get fit for this one. Well, can little Ardiles find the spark that Spurs require now? And there's Arno Gudjonsson, the Icelandic front man. In fact, Wales remember him in the World Cup qualifier. He did a good deal to, surprisingly, prevent Wales from going to Spain. Now that time by Roberts. And Schifo again the target. And it's going to be a throw. Taken quite a buffeting, this 18-year-old Schifo, but I think the referee from West Germany indicating, you saw there, that he's also doing a bit of diving. Well, here's Ardiles on the ball for the first time. What drama there would be if somehow he could find the way through for Tottenham. Falco, Galvin, Hazard, Falco, another Galvin now. Obstruction, free kick. Well, can Spurs do it? 10 minutes remaining. Ardiles placing the ball, Hazard behind it. Big men up from the back again. It's going to be little Ozzy Ardiles who takes that free kick. Floated there. And the keeper grabbed it at the feet of Roberts when it looked as though Archibald might just get a touch. I think for a moment that may have even fooled the keeper, but his reactions were absolutely superb. 10 minutes remaining. Anderlecht leading 1-0 here tonight, 2-1 on aggregate. Spurs absolutely desperate for a goal now, if only to take it into extra time. But there's Archibald after this one. Gets there with his head. Can Ali Dick get there? No. Hopkins is there, but it's a Tottenham throw. No. Given to Anderlecht. What do you make of the substitutions, Brian? Obviously 2 wide men on now. Let's have a look at Roberts first, though. That's going to be a corner. No, it's not. Stopped by Morten Olsen.
Brave wanted to take the centre-half off. That was a good decision. I'm not quite sure about Ardiles, how fit he is and how in good nick he is, but it was certainly a good decision to bring the centre-half off.
And to play now with, what, 2 wide men, which he's doing, with Galvin's gone to the right.
Yeah, you have no choice now. You're 1-0 down at home, 10-15 minutes to go in a cup final. You have no choice. It's forced on you.
It's Hazard. Falco. Again, they have that sure touch, Anderlecht. Schifo for Gudjonsson. And stopped, or at least half stopped by Roberts. But a flag was up for offside against Chernyatinski. The Belgians forming up still. Spurs have made their 2 substitutions. Hazard. And Hopkins selling a nice little dummy on Dick. And then hits it. And it went gotten under Roberts' feet, but here's Gary Stevens now back in a defensive position alongside Graham Roberts, and to try and play it wide again for Galvin. It was a good ball, it found him. Can he get past Anderson? No. Stevens, Ardiles, Falco. It might come for Galvin, it'll come for Hazard, and then it'll come for Archibald onside. Oh, a tremendous save from a great shot by Archibald. A brilliant piece of keeping, but a superb piece of finishing by the Scot as well. It looked as though he'd lost a chance for a moment. As Spurs now aim to take the corner. Pushed away by Munaron. Here comes that corner. Brian?
Oh, some idiots throwing the bottle. Imbeciles.
Somebody, the referee's holding the bottle there, as you can see.
Somebody threw one at our ground. We got him arrested. He got 6 months by our policeman, and he's banned from our ground for the rest of his life.
Well, I think if Tottenham could find the culprit, they probably would feel like doing the same. The last thing that Spurs want now. Will they get it home? Falco! And he might come for Ardiles! Oh, he's hit the crossbar! Oh, my word! Almost the storybook return there for Ardiles, and he's hit the crossbar. Roberts! He's done it! 1-1! Sight, and what a sound, and Roberts, the captain, has made it 1-1 for Spurs. After Ardiles had hit the crossbar, Anderlecht breathed again and thought they'd got it away. There are only 6 minutes left. Back it comes again, and suddenly, stumbling through with a beautiful touch at the finish, Graham Roberts has made it 1-1. Brian Clough.
I can't believe the situation. Ardiles should have scored quite easily, and he didn't. And you're dead right when they just relaxed momentarily, thinking they'd escaped, and across it came again.
Well, here's Schifo for Anderlecht. What a night this is turning out to be now. Galvin. A free kick, is it? To Tottenham. It was a handball. Well, can they finish it off? 5 minutes to go. And then we should get extra time if it stays at 1-1. Hazard. Can't hear yourself speak or think at the moment here. Archibald. De Graaf. What pressure on these players now. Houghton must hold off Chernyatinsky. Oh. Well, he was trying to. And stopped by Parks, an important one.
It was a brilliant effort until the final touch. He should have squared it, but he wasn't to know the centre forward was there in support, and he's giving him some right stick.
So Spurs coming forward now. Hazard. Houghton. Roberts, the hero. What noise there is here. Stevens. Ardiles must wonder how on earth he hit the crossbar instead of the net. Offside against Dick. Roberts getting it back. Extra time very much on the horizon now with 3 minutes left, and beyond the horizon another 30 minutes of what should be pulsating cup final football, and beyond that, who knows, maybe even penalties. But they're not thinking of that at the moment. Certainly Galvin isn't. There's his cross coming in. Archibald couldn't get to it. Can Alistair Dick get there? Schifo, one youngster after another. And it's Schifo who comes away. Dick in a bit of trouble. But Houghton's not. And Ali Dick still down and injured. A little clash with Schifo. Well, he's technically in an offside position there at the moment. But Danny Thomas is on his way. There's the cross. Can Falco get there? Can Archibald get there? Oh, that looked a handball. But the referee said no. Ardiles couldn't stop him. Stevens getting in there. My word, this is wildly exciting at the moment.
Would have been a brave referee to give a penalty then. I'd like to see it again, Brian.
Here we are then. Your wish is granted.
Oh!
Well, Galvin's on his way. Played back towards Archibald, but didn't quite reach him. A tremendous spell this for Tottenham. But now they've got some defending to do. Here's Schifo for Anderlecht. A little under 2 minutes left. And Schifo's on his way again. Good Johnson, the substitute's in there. Still with Schifo, trying a little chip. And slightly ambitious, maybe. Spurs aren't complaining.
By the break quickly, they got 5 forwards up then in the penalty area.
So what to do now, Brian?
If I was Tottenham, we'll settle for extra time. I was 2-0 down in Anderlecht and was settling for extra time and we weren't good enough to get it, despite everything.
Ardiles and Falco offside.
They've clawed the way back now. Settle for another 30 minutes at the Belgian.
Right, it's Schifo. On my watch, a little over a minute. It's Hopkins. He's done a good defensive job all night. Now crossing in towards De Graaf, getting in there, the defender up from the back. Thomas. What effort both these sides have put into it tonight. Hazard. Houghton. Kicks away on the left. Houghton prefers Ardiles. Now for Hazard. Lovely little dribbling run there by Mike Hazard. Archibald! Oh, tremendous save! What a shot too!
Brilliant strike of the ball, this. And the goalkeeper handled it beautifully. I thought for a second he was going to drop it.
Oh, he would have gone in, look. The last seconds of normal time. A referee looking at both his West German linesmen. And it seems we are due for another 30 minutes. It's Hopkins at the moment for Anderlecht. Good Johnson. Hopkins. Might be trouble yet for Tottenham. No, Roberts is there. Oh, might be trouble yet for Anderlecht. Morten Olsen. Can he get it back? He can. De Gruyter, long ball forward. Good Johnson. Dick can't get there. Good Johnson, the substitute. Too high. Goal kick.
You and I are on about extra time. In the last minute, sir, there's been 2 brilliant efforts on one goal and one on the other.
Hazard. That's the whistle for the end of 90 minutes. And still we don't know who's going to win this UEFA Cup final. 1-1 on the night, 2-2 on aggregate. Spurs will get us started. And I must say, with their 2 wingmen in that last quarter of an hour or so, they looked a good proposition. Let's hope they can keep that going now during this period of extra time.
I'm just wondering, Brian, if both sides have brought both subs on, because I know Tottenham have.
No, Anderlecht can still bring one on. It's Galvin now. And now it's Hazard. And now it's Galvin, who's got Danny Thomas outside him. A cross by Thomas, De Graaf away. That could be a corner, and it is. Clumsy play there by the Anderlecht defence. Their concentration wavered just for a moment. Spurs were at their throats and have a corner.
Good time to have a corner just at the start of extra time.
Hazard will take it. Deep one. And headed down by Falco, and somehow they got it away. And Falco, no! Archibald was right in there, Falco was in there, Ardiles was right in there. And in the end, the whistle had gone.
I'm loath to say anybody should score because it's very, very difficult. Archibald could have scored.
Buneron flaps at it, misses, and it just goes agonisingly, just fractionally out of the reach of Steve Archibald. Good jump by Roberts, touched by Falco. Here's Ardiles, the crowd encouraging him, and he in turn encouraging Falco with that cross. They claim handball, the referee says no, and the ball is with Chris Hughton. Roberts blasting it forward again. Let's try it on the right, but Galvin won't get that. It'll be a goal kick. Be a free kick, a goal kick rather, to be taken by Walter de Graaf. Stevens with the header, and won by Van der Eycken. Now Schifo, flicked on again for Czerniatinski. Stevens is back. Roberts. Hazard. For Archibald in turn, can he find Falco? The referee has blown for a free kick, but it's a free kick to Anderlecht for some shoving by Mark Falco. Stevens getting it away. Hazard. Roberts. Hazard to Hughton. And Roberts. Olsen. Carteren. Now Olsen. Schifo. Carteren. Good spell this by Anderlecht. And a good break for Carteren now, making the extra man. A good cross coming in towards Olsen again. And Schifo. Oh my word. And Gudjonsson stuck his foot out. If he'd been on his feet and a yard closer to the goal, it would have been a simple tap-in. But again, it was Morten Olsen, the big Dane from the back, who come up and made a very, very important header. Ardiles, dribbling his way through, down he goes, it's a free kick. Hazard. Thomas. Again, it's away to Gudjonsson. Hopkins to Czerniatinski. Hazard again. Gudjonsson's after him. Free kick to Tottenham, already taken. Hazard on the ball. Galvin's away on this right flank. A lovely ball by Hazard, straight to his feet. Crowd urging Galvin to get down that flank. Whip in a good cross, but Munaron's there. One into the other. For Kouteren now for Anderlecht. Chernyatinski on the far side. And in the end, no problems for Parks.
The sweep was going forward, Brian, that much. He nearly created a goal 2 or 3 minutes ago, and he's in an outside right position then, and he was annoyed with his colleague who took a rather silly shot at this stage of the game.
Thomas. Hazard. Naughty ball after this one, but there's that sweeper again, number 10. Morten Olsen right back, the deepest man. Hopkins. Karoon outside him. Good Johnson. But in the end, he ran into Roberts. Archibald. Free kick given. Not surprised we don't hear the whistle in this noise. Galvin. Letting fly, and Munaron had to suddenly dive very quickly down by the post. Skidding across that turf, a good shot by Tony Galvin. But now Van der Eycken for Anderlecht. For Kouteren. Ardiles stopping him, supported by Hazard. Offside against Archibald. That's extraordinary. He couldn't have been more than 2 yards inside the Anderlecht half.
The temptation to play a through ball against sides that play offside is very, very great. But there's nobody caused the Belgians more trouble than Tony Galvin. So if they can just get it to him at every opportunity.
There's for Kouteren, getting it through, and good Johnson. Hopkins outside him. Slipped in towards Chernyatinski, but it was a poor one. Believe it or not, this is only the second corner that Anderlecht have had in the whole of the game. To be taken by Frankie for Kouteren. Chernyatinski in there. Suddenly Van der Eycken's made a break from the back, but Roberts, very, very dependable, is there again. De Graaf. Good Johnson. Schifo's made the break this time. But Houghton, not really getting it away very well. Schifo spraying it wide to Kouteren, the captain. And a cross coming in, and Stevens in the end just happy to put it behind for the corner.
Beautiful weighted cross, Brian. Defenders have nightmares with crosses like that.
Well, let's hope Spurs don't get a nightmare from this corner. To be taken by Good Johnson. With about 9 minutes of the first period of extra time gone. The score 1-1 tonight, 2-2 on aggregate. Here's Good Johnson with the corner for Anderlecht. Played, well, De Gruyter's cross quite easily cut out by Parks. The flag had gone up, I think, in any case for an offside. Danny Thomas for Tottenham, Ozzy Ardiles, and now Mike Hazard. Dick on the far side. Houghton's gone outside him. Crowd disappointed that he lost it there. The Kouteren. Now Chernyatinski against Stevens. And Stevens gets it back. Hazard. Good ball to Dick. Nothing much going for Ali Dick at the moment. Play on, said the referee. So Chernyatinski finds Good Johnson. 5 minutes of the first period of extra time remaining. And Galvin in possession for Tottenham. Good play. up in the end. Yeah, it's a free kick. Ardiles. Roberts. He's caused a bit of chaos, and he's left a bit of space for Dick, but the cross wasn't quite good enough, trying to whip in across towards Archibald. Ardiles couldn't stop that one, and here's Schifo for Anderlecht. Onside, Czerniatinski again, but good defending there by Stevens. Just accelerated when he needed it. So some conferences there in the Anderlecht bench in the white raincoat. Their manager, Paul van Himst. Galvin, crossed in. Shoving the back, surely. Well, Czerniatinski, I think, making quite a meal of it. There's no doubt he was shoved in the back by Stevens, though. It'll be an Anderlecht free kick, and it's taken for Kouteren, with Archibald after him. Jagrutta. For Johnson. Olsen. Newton getting that one away. De Graaf. Van der Eycken. Schifo. Again stopped by Roberts. Well, Keith Birkinshaw was saying yesterday when he announced the side, Roberts is the captain. He's the sort of fella who drives other players on and never lets his head drop. I think it's Breuer who's coming on for Anderlecht. But at the moment, it's Roberts and Good Johnson right back. A goal kick. Jackie Müller on to take it. And they're taking off Czerniatinski, and Breuer, another Dane, comes on. I think he scored from a penalty against you, didn't he, Brian, Breuer?
He certainly did. He'll never get a luckier one.
Hazard. About a minute and a half to go to the end of the first period of extra time. Thomas to Falco. Hazard. Roberts. Gathering speed. Oh, taking some stopping. Finds Archibald. The shot straight at the keeper again. Such strength about the man. Going past all challengers, eventually gets it to Archibald. Coming towards Breuer, but Stevens is there. Both sides now have committed themselves to their substitutes. No more allowed. Stevens within a whisker of getting through, but it just hit Grün. And now for Kouteren. Hofkins. Here's the sweeper, Olsen. Just about the first mistake he's made all night. Hazard. Can Galvin keep it in? He can. Hit some good balls tonight to Hazard. Thomas. Tiredness out there. Must be incredible at the moment. But Galvin getting that one in, and Munaron grabbing it. It was a funny little bounce there just in front of him. And the first period of extra time is over. 2-2 on aggregates. 1-1 tonight. Cherniatinski having put Anderlecht into the lead. Graham Roberts having scored right at the end of normal time to make it 1-1. But who's going to make it? And if in the next 15 minutes and nobody makes a mistake and we stay as we are, we go into penalties. It's Grün. That really is a totally dramatic way to win a cup and a devastatingly cruel way to lose one. Archibald. Ardiles. Can Hazard get there? Thomas can. Back to Stevens. Here's Olsen, the sweeper. He's the man that causes so much trouble for Spurs, and this time he's found Good Johnson. And Roberts, who's had a magnificent game at the back, gets in the way once more. And a long shot there by Grün.
And I'm not sure if the goalkeeper saw it quickly enough. Young Parks wasn't quite sure about that.
Hit from a long way out. Verkauteren. Still anybody's UEFA Cup. And an offside against Brüller. Free kick for Tottenham. Danny Thomas. Good Johnson. Didn't mean to go that way, but it did, and Spurs get possession with Houghton and now with Hazard. Verkauteren. Schifo. Olsen, here he comes again. And a good cross coming in, but it's not good enough. Hazard for Tottenham. Archibald trying to flick it on, but Falco just hadn't got the legs to get after it. Dick. Ardiles. They brought down again. It's another free kick. Hazard. To Stevens. Thomas. Archibald just trying to flick it on and trying to readjust himself to get a shot in. It's Ardiles jinking about there, and he's found Dick. The Dick's offside. Flag was up. To Johnson for Anderlecht. Morten Olsen. Grün to Schifo. And the whistle gone again. Well, if you've just tuned in and you're not expecting to see football, let me remind you that it's the UEFA Cup final, which has gone to extra time. It's 1-1. Tonight, 2-2 on aggregate, and of course, we shall be staying right to the very end. We now have, in fact, 10 minutes of extra time left. If the score stays the way they are, we shall then go into penalties to decide this final. But at the moment, it's Galvin, and he couldn't just winkle the ball through to Archibald. Galvin, in fact, is down. Whether it's cramp or whether he's got an injury, I don't know, but they've just about run themselves out. Just about all of them. Not Ali Dick, because he's only just come on. That's obstruction there by Hopkins, and it's a free kick for Tottenham. Galvin is still down. I would think already it's begun to cross the players' minds that unless this can be resolved, they're going to face this desperate business of penalties, Brian.
And desperate is the word. It'll be an ordeal to such extent. It'll be the first time since I finished playing football, if this game goes into penalties, that I'm glad I'm not a player.
Well, Galvin is on his feet. And I don't think there'll be many millions watching at the moment would swap places with these players if it came to stepping up to take a vital penalty. Maybe it won't come to that. Here's a free kick which our dealers will take for Tottenham. Finds Archibald. But then De Graaf, but the whistle had gone. A free kick to Anderlecht. And certainly not from there. Certainly think our British referees have now got very much worked into their system the ability to play an advantage which keeps a game so much more a spectacle for the public and flowing that much more, which this West German tonight really hasn't done. Thomas. Again, the Anderlecht back four are forward, and again they've caught at least 3 Tottenham front men offside. Our dealers and Falco and Dick.
Nobody's done more work than him that's just played that free kick, Brian, the number 10. Does any more
Olsen,
running?
yes.
Yeah, he'll get in the derby. His incredible amount of running he's done tonight.
Well, we know all about him, and Bobby Robson would certainly know all about him. He played such a big part in Denmark against England in those European Championship games. And he's just signed for another year with Anderlecht. They'll be delighted about that.
I want another bite at him next season. I want another bite at this lot next season.
Against Anderlecht. Well, you've qualified for UEFA. And there's Morten Olsen. You'd like to have another bite at him. Thought for a moment there might be a misunderstanding between Roberts and Stevens, but happily for Spurs it didn't happen. About 7 minutes of extra time remaining. If only Spurs can do it. But at the moment they face an Anderlecht free kick. Spurs have never played a Belgian side in European competition before. I certainly remember the first one. Dick getting in and doing well, persevering and getting the ball back from Archibald, but then Hopkins was there. Our dealers concedes the free kick. And the referee allowing it to be taken quickly. It's with Schifo. And now with De Groot. Houghton away. Comes for Dick. Oh, the pass didn't get through to Falco. There's a lazy old pass, which I think again illustrates the exhaustion that most of those players are feeling at the moment, Brian.
Tiredness induced that. That's what happens when you get to the end of any match, never mind extra time. Tiredness induces you to do all types of things which you normally wouldn't do.
Which, when you think about it, if we come to the penalties, imagine steeling yourself for that when you're physically and mentally just about exhausted. Well, there's De Groot. Thomas. They stay on side. He's picked up Ali Dick and he's offside. They haven't beaten the offside trap once, in point of fact, have they, tonight?
No, they've just played it fractionally too slowly, the ball. To beat an offside trap, you do it two ways. You play it first time, or you play it wide.
Here comes Olsen again for Anderlecht. It's got to be stopped. Played in early. Try for counter-run, but it's a goal kick for Tottenham. 5 minutes of extra time remaining. 1-1 the score tonight, 2-2 the score on aggregate. A shove again and a free kick to Anderlecht. We haven't even mentioned yet is that if we do come to penalties, and it's beginning to look that way, that the Spurs goalkeeper Tony Parks, just 21 years old, one of the least experienced fellas on that Tottenham side, suddenly can become an absolute hero. Couldn't hold it, but he fought and got it back. But unfairly against Schifo, it's a free kick again to Anderlecht.
The 9 for the Belgians, considering he's only 18, he's lasted the pace a lot more than I thought.
That's the 18-year-old Schifo. This is Archibald. And Spurs get a throw. Tell you something else, I bet the referees thought about the penalties as well, because that's a real problem for him, keeping players in the centre circle and keeping the score and everything else. We've thought about it as well, Brian, keeping the score and making sure we try and get each kick right on the button.
Hey, we'll keep our fingers crossed if it gets to penalties, because we can't lose. We'll get another 5 million people tuning in.
Right, well, let's see if it comes to that. It's Schifo at the moment for Anderlecht. And we're left with about a couple of minutes of extra time. Well, the crowd you can hear, come on you Spurs, one last big effort. So little time left now. De Graaf with the header for Anderlecht. Ardiles with the touch for Tottenham. Roberts now. Galvin kept that in well. Thomas. Archibald again, but beaten by Hopkins. Houghton going in. Now will Dick get to this one? He's got Falco waiting in the middle if he can get it across. And he's got a corner right at the end. Referee's looking at his watch. Now, can Spurs even at this late stage snatch the cup and avoid the business of penalties? Ali Dick with the corner. Ardiles on the goal line. Everybody up from the back. Hit long and hard towards Galvin. And Tony Galvin. A little chip back in there again towards Archibald. Is it going to be there? No, Stevens couldn't get the touch that mattered either. And they just couldn't force it home. Thomas, though, trying to get round Morten Olsen, and the referee has said there was a shove on the Anderlecht number 10. Up and down off that bench, you can imagine the agonies they're going through. Keith Birkinshaw will certainly remember his last competitive match here.
I just hope we get a chance to see that corner again, because the Anderlecht defenders are stationary when it's up in the air on occasions. They're not quite sure who to mark and whether to go for the ball or not.
Well, I think the time is just about up now. Referee's looking at linesman and at watch. Whistle is in the mouth. That's the end of extra time. And ladies and gentlemen, we now have penalties. And there are Spurs players who are flat on the ground. Now, what a procedure. Everybody who is not actually taking penalties has to go into the centre circle. 5 penalties from each side. And the man of the moment for Tottenham, well, has got to be Tony Parks there. Ray Clements. Well, Tony Parks has benefited from a lot of advice from Ray Clements over this season. And now it's got to mean something. You saw Garth Crooks give Tony Parks a little hug of encouragement, and at the other end, Munaron is saying, I don't know whether he's calling for a stiff drink or not, but the Belgians there are saying, good luck to you, old son. Actually, I've seen a couple of finals decided by penalties. Arsenal, of course, lost a Cup Winners' Cup final against Valencia in Brussels on missed penalties. I've also seen Czechoslovakia win a European Championship in 1976 against West Germany, also on penalties. And there are times when you can hardly bear to watch. I think there'll be a few there hoping that they haven't got to take a penalty.
I think it's all decided now who's taking them and who isn't.
But if it's still level after 5 penalties each, it goes on until somebody misses and the other side score. Well, the 2 keepers are the key figures, and Graham Roberts is going forward to take the first penalty for Tottenham. 5 each side, remember, and my word, they want to make everyone count. Well, Roberts, who has scored once, will now want to give a captain's example. Graham Roberts against Jackie Munaron, and he has scored. So that's great relief for him. Now, forward comes Morten Olsen, and he now has to put one past Tony Parks. In goes Parks. Here comes Olsen, and the keeper for Anderlecht has to get outside the penalty area. Boos from the Tottenham crowd. Not an easy job for the ice-cool Olsen. Can he beat Parks? Saved it! What a moment, and a moment for him. Now, it's not over yet. It's not over yet. 5 for each side, remember. Well, Tony Parks, what a moment of glory. He went the right way and pushed it away. Mark Falco now. What a psychological boost. If he can now put one past Munaron. Now, Falco. Score! 2-0. With Briller, the Dane, coming forward now for Anderlecht. And the Belgian manager Paul van Himst, knowing the pressures on his team, just imagine if Tony Parks can save this one as well. It's Briller to take it. He scored. 2-1 to Tottenham. Gary Stevens comes forward next for Tottenham. I'll tell you something, there are a few players that aren't going to watch. There may be 1 or 2 fans who dare not watch. And there may be 1 or 2 of you at home who dare not watch. But it's Gary Stevens now. Score! 3-1. The pressure still on Anderlecht. And it's the 18-year-old Enzo Schifo who comes forward now. Muneron unhappy about something, but what about this now? Now, this is a test for an 18-year-old, if ever you like. Enzo Schifo. That's how big the goal is, but I tell you, to Schifo, it'll look about half that size, and Parks will look double his size. Now, can he do it? Yes, he can. As cool as you like. 3-2. Spurs still have the advantage. And forward now comes Steve Archibald. Keith Birkinshaw basically 2 successful penalty kicks away from taking the UEFA Cup final. Now, Archibald against Muneron. What value for money tonight. Dare not miss. And he has it. So, 4-2. And now Frankie Verkouteren, the captain of Anderlecht, looking to make it 4-3. And it'll mean, well, let's not worry about what it'll mean for the moment. Let's see whether he can score and whether Parks can save. So, 4-3. It means that if little Danny Thomas can score, that'll make it 5-3 and Spurs could not be caught. Well, Van Himst, the Anderlecht manager, Muneron, the Anderlecht goalkeeper, and Danny Thomas, if he scores, no! And they're dancing for joy in the Anderlecht camp, and it's 4-3. And Graham Roberts going across to console Danny Thomas. That would have won the cup. And poor Danny. The Spurs crowd are shouting there's only one Danny Thomas to keep his spirits up. Well, let's see. Maybe Tony Parks will pull off another save. Good Johnson from Iceland is the man taking it. And he saved it! Spurs have won it! Tony Parks is the hero! Fantastic scenes here! And Keith Birkinshaw finishes career at Tottenham with a European trophy. What an unbelievable scene, and what a good sporting moment there for Morten Olsen to congratulate the Spurs manager. Tony Parks with 2 penalty saves. What a moment! 21-year-old goalkeeper, born in Hackney, just around the road, a Spurs fan through and through, into the side, and there's consolation for Anderlecht. A brilliant night of dramatic football. You won't see many like that, and a nice sporting finish as well. Graham Roberts. A big cup, a beautiful smile, and Spurs have won the UEFA Cup. Yes, it's a heavy cup to carry after so much effort for Spurs right through the night.
was nice to save it on the last one, the all-important one. Really, it was fantastic. Really. Just a lucky guess.